Right. Okay, so the hot water will come out here. Let it run a little bit till it definitely... Oh, ow.
So you wanted to test if it was hot?
No, well, there's a little bit of cool water trapped in the pipe. You have to let that out. Can you see the steam? Not really. Of course, you put a bigger pipe on, it will come out
Faster.
Yeah, I just used this pipe because it was lying around making a place look untidy.
That's amazing.
You'll lift it up and it'll stop. So this shows you that it's... You can see the sun has moved since we put it right. So if we turn it that way, then get it in the center. And now, see the sun's too high, so it's casting a shadow there. So we tip it back a bit more. We'll undo that screw there. Oh, it's quite heavy, full of water. Is it right? I'll flop forward when I...
A little bit more. A little bit forward. Yeah, perfect.
Now it's pointing directly at the sun, and the sun ray, any point it hits along this curve, it'll be reflected back onto the tin. You need to adjust it every 15 minutes or so, or every half hour. It doesn't really stop getting hot, it just gets hot slower.
And then this...
It will get this to...
How do you get the water in to the pipe?
Well, at the moment I'm plugging it into the hose pipe, but in the future I'm going to put another large tin here so that when you tap hot water out, cold water siphons back in to replace it.
And you said that you could put really dirty water into the tin.
Well, not really dirty.
Well, toxic
that's
water,
not a good idea, but if this water is impure, it'll make it safe to drink. If it's got
it's like
mud or solids
water
in
the
suspension,
kettle.
it will still have mud and solids
But
in
it'll be
suspension.
clean
But if it's
water.
got E. coli or anything that can
Okay.
make a person sick, that will be cooked dead.
And as you said, it's all made from upcycled stuff. So this is an old cupboard.
Yeah, and this is space blanket.
Yeah.
This is a piece of masonite also from the rubbish, and these are dog food cans. A few nuts and bolts and screws. So it's not an expensive thing. It'll get, you can scale it up or down depending on what you want to do. The principle works any which way. The best thing of the focusing is that it makes it faster, because you could put a black tin in the sun and it would get hot, but it would take way longer than focusing like that. If you make this surface area bigger, it'll happen faster, but it'll also reach a higher temperature because the light is more intense. If you put bigger tins on the same size thing, it'll still get hot, but it'll take longer.
And how did you curve the masonite?
I cut these things to the right curve. I use a jigsaw on a long arm, like a big compasses for drawing circles. I just got basically big compasses with jigsaw on the end. This radius of this one it's 600 millimeters to the center, and this is about a third of the way, and this is about 220. It's about a third of the hot spot is about a third of the radius. That one, the bigger one I showed you inside, that one's radius is 2 meters.
Sure.
So really you can do whatever you like. If you can cook in here. I've got round ones that I use for cooking. But they are considerably more intense, and they boil the water. They'll make that actually rolling boil the water. They'll boil a liter in an hour to steam.
And
I've made lavender oil with that and distilled water.
And winter time?
Makes very little difference. It's just lower down. If the atmosphere is clear, I was really surprised. It's virtually the same summer and winter. Of course, you've got less daylight hours to work in.
But if it's overcast?
No, it'll warm it up maybe. But because it's quite fast, if the sun only comes out for a while and then goes away, you can
still get warm water.
Yeah.
Enough to make a kettle, a pot of tea anyway.
Yeah, if you get 20 minutes, half an hour of unbroken sun, you'll get a cup of tea out of it.
That's awesome. I'm very impressed.
And of course at night, there's nothing to stop you, when it's evening, there's nothing to stop you tapping it into a thermos flask. Or whenever it's boiling, when it's hot and you don't need hot water, tap it into a thermos flask, fill it up again. You know, and that way you could store quite a bit of water if you had a good hot pot or something.
Thanks.
Okay.
Use porridge. Pop and sauce.
Ja.
Ja.